Hi everybody! Welcome to another Sunday school session. Sorry I am a little bit late tonight. Always busy. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. So tonight's Sunday school is all about making your own incense blend. This is a loose incense that you would burn over charcoal in a cauldron or some other censer of sorts. And a censer is just a fancy word for incense burner or something that you put charcoal in. So tonight's blend that I will be making is a calming and empowering blend, and that is because that is what I need right now. So that is what I'm making. Sometimes it takes a minute for me to figure out what I want to do for the session, and tonight this is what I personally need, and that is calming and empowering, because stress, it's a killer. So I'm going to go over the ingredients, and I will also put a list of the ingredients that I use tonight. There's one that I don't have that I typically would use definitely for this. I couldn't find it and I ran out of time because, you know, I'm late and all. But frankincense. I did find myrrh, so I'm going to put that in there as well. So I'm starting with myrrh. Then I have, and I forgot to look the name of these up. It's a weird name. I'll put it on there when I'm done. But it's an herb that connects you with your spirituality and your spiritual path, which I think is great for empowerment, especially for witches. I also have lavender, which is the all-time best calming thing to burn. Chamomile. It's one of my favorite scents, so for me it's calming. It can be calming for everybody else. I have dragon's blood, which I typically use on everything. I have mugwort, which is going to be used for the empowerment side of things, and I feel like empowerment has a lot to do with you feeling confident and strong and in tune with yourself. It all goes together. I also have some Rose of Jericho and some rose petals. So the first thing I am going to do, something that I like to do before I do any kind of working really, is to put my conjure rub on my hands. Most of you already know this. I use witch's hand, which boosts your working, so why wouldn't I? Yeah. Because the greatest thing about loose incense, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that they can just make it. Wait a minute, hold on. I just saw a funny message in my messages, so now I have to see it. Yes, I am using heavy metal in the background because, you know what, the thing is, it's calming and empowering, and I think heavy metal totally goes with empowering. Pantera is one of my favorite bands, so I love the smell of the witch's hand. But it's a great thing to use before you're working because it just boosts everything. But yes, the great thing about making your own incense is that you're putting your intention into it every step of the way. If you're harvesting the herbs and plants or whatever, even better. Like, that's awesome because you could put your intent into each thing as you're harvesting it. Just like as you're blending the incense, you are putting your intention into it as well. So, any questions up until now? I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any questions or if someone wants me to repeat anything real quick. I like having this here, so if people tune in halfway through, they can kind of see what we're doing. And again, yes, I did have to write this backwards. I'm really good at it, though, so we're all good. But, yeah, so we're going to start. This is going to be a nice, quick one. It's something that is very simple and easy, and a lot of the stuff most people already have anyway. And if you don't, it's relatively easy to get. Now these beautiful flowers that I forgot what the name of them are because I feel like this is a newer one for me that I haven't used yet. But I have used, but it was more recently that I discovered these in my yard. So They're like bulbous on the base of these flowers, and then they're little white flowers that come out of the top. And they're adorable, and I used my Google Lens to find out what they were all about, so Google Lens is awesome when it comes to picking your own herbs. Now, as always with herbs and things like this, you always need to make sure that they're safe to use as an incense to inhale. I mean, there's some things you should avoid while, hello, some things that you should avoid while pregnant. Some people with sensitivities, you know you, and just do your research on what time of year. What do you mean, what time of year? What time did I harvest these? You'll have to answer me. But what time of year? I harvested these probably a month ago. This incense you can make any time of year. I mean, as always, like when you're harvesting and stuff, you could pick a full moon to harvest on. But these have been growing probably since June. They're so cool, I'll have to post them. I have it saved, like I said, it's a newer herb, well, it's a flower, a newer plant introduced to my repertoire. So yeah, you can harvest those when they're in full bloom. That's when I would harvest those. Okay, so I'm going to start putting my stuff in here. These I don't have a lot of, so I'm not going to use too many of them. My daughter, she is my harvester now. Like, once she knows that I like a certain thing, she just keeps bringing it to me. I'm down with that. I'm actually going to use 4. This is like my special stock, so I don't have these for sale, but if you're really lost and need a spiritual connection, I might be able to hook you up. But there's that. We'll put some roses in there. I always think roses are great. I'm all about self-love, and I think that's huge with empowering. Again, the mugwort is definitely for the empowering side of things. And I think a lot of the times when I'm thinking about the calming and the empowering together is something that can be used together a lot. I feel like a lot of times when you're upset and stressed out, you need a reminder of how awesome you are and how strong and admirable you are, all into one. It helps you calm down, I feel like. You can use rosemary too. Yeah, you can. Definitely. Yeah. We need a little bit more mugwort. And again, this is an incense that anybody can make. Anytime. Ooh, that was loud. So, again, I have... Ooh, that was a nice cloud of dragon's blood coming at me. I have 2 resins that are going in here. One's dragon's blood. And one is myrrh. Lavender is in here. Here's my lavender. And it's funny, my lavender plant started producing again out front. I love the smell of lavender. It's definitely one of my favorites. I know some people can't use lavender. Chamomile would be a great substitute. Chamomile, another one of my favorites. It just smells so good. You know what? I'm going to add one more ingredient to this. And it's funny, I just posted about this the other day. But I'm going to put some aster flowers in mine. So hold on one second. One moment. I know. Right where they are, they're so high up. Oh my gosh. Okay. A little bit left, but I do have some drying there, and I have some on the ceiling. So we're going to put some of these in there. Now the cool thing about these, they don't smell that great after they're dry, but when they're fresh, they smell so good. They smell so sweet. These are the flower of the gods and the goddesses. They love these flowers. I think this is, for me, it's a connection to the spiritual realm, which is part of empowerment. For me, I recently bought anise stars. Anise, yes. It's star of anise, but yes. Because I saw them in your videos and I love them. Aren't they beautiful? And actually right now is a great time of year to be using them. They're great in warm beverages. My mom tried one raw, just like crunched it around in her mouth. She said it wasn't very good to crunch it around in your mouth. Okay, these are just other roses. I don't really need to add those in there. And then my Rose of Jericho. Now, as we're sitting here, if you have any questions, yes, star anise. Did I say star of anise? Star anise. A little bit of Rose of Jericho. Yes, he does. Yeah, he speaks Espanol. Okay, I think I added everything. So now we are just going to, I made quite a bit. See, a little bit goes a long way. I made quite a bit. I can use this a lot. And a lot of the times when you're doing a positive working, you blend clockwise. You don't have to follow that if you don't want, obviously. These roses, though, I am going to crush up a little bit because they're a little bit harder. Alright, actually, you know what? Before I start blending this, I am going to light my charcoal. So for this, you will need a charcoal. And I'm going to light it. So most of the ones that you can get are self-lighting. You see, it's all magical. You can use, like, the tongs. There are charcoal tongs, which I do have. I just, again, scrambled last minute to get all this together. See, and they self-light. You just get, you know, and you see all the little sparks. They're almost like those little snake things that we used to all use as kids. Loved them. They left that crappy little ring on the cement, you know. Alright, so that, while that's simmering, I'm going to go ahead and stir my incense. And you can get it as fine or keep it as whole as you want. The purpose of this is to kind of like burst the herbs, to make the fragrance come out, to make the properties come out of it. And mix it together, blend it nicely. And so as you're burning it, it does so evenly. I'm already calm. Really though, anytime I do something like this, a working of any kind, it kind of makes me more calm because I'm doing something for myself, something that I need to do. This is definitely something you could do for Self-Love Sunday. Yes, tongs, I'm telling you, those are the way to go. Yvonne says I burnt my hand so many times with those things. She was also saying she studied under me and other things. But I don't want to make a fool of myself translating, so. And if you can't get it all finally done, don't stress about it. It's not about that. It's really about the intention, you know. And if you were at the recent Green Lakes my bone celebration, you smelled the incense that I created for that. So that was just a nice little blend of the seasonal fragrances. You know I put clove. Pretty sure I put chamomile because I love that and everything. Because of a lot, the workings that you want to do right now are prosperity workings. So those are wonderful things to have in there. But it smells amazing. And when I packed up our little altar, the cloth that was underneath it smelled amazing. Still does. Okay. It smells so nice. It really does. Now, when you're doing incense, you can be doing a ritual along with it. So when I'm doing something like this, I'll have a little ritual to go along with it. Yes, creme brulee torches are the best when it comes to lighting charcoal. I do not have one of those, but totally. You guys have been telling me that for years. I still have not gotten one yet. Yes. Yep. Yep, it definitely works. Or even one of those butane lighters. They do wonders as well. You're welcome. You're very welcome. But yes, you could do a ritual that goes along with this. I see all my family's here too. Hi guys. But you could do a little ritual along with this. You can be, talking to the gods, the goddesses, the universe, whatever you follow, and asking for the strength, for the calm, for the peace. As you're burning this, you can say, as I inhale this fragrant incense, fill me with what I need to calm myself, to feel my spiritual self and my oneness. You could even use these herbs in a charm bag that you carry with you. You could even, if you kept it calming, you can use it towards torch. A creme brulee torch is something that you use. It's almost like a little flamethrower kind of, but it's more butane-esque. If that makes any sense. But they use it. Oh, yeah. Good job, Alan. Heck yeah. So that's a really simple one to do. If you need something, a money drawing type incense, you can use things like patchouli, anything that's in the mint family. So it could be basil, spearmint, peppermint. You can use lemon balm for that. Chamomile, you can also use dragon's blood. Great for money. Cinquefoil, that's another thing. Just popped in, I have to go to sleep. Love you. Love you too, Mom. This is good for centering and grounding, even when not burned. You can use that for that. You can use it for centering, for sure. You can use it to get your emotions in a place to start work. As far as spiritual work goes, this mix would help you with your spiritual work as well, which I love. But it is good. I'm big on aromatherapy. As weird as this sound, when I quit smoking cigarettes, that's when it really, really helped me. Like, I loved aromatherapy when it came to that. And it's just something that can totally change a mood, can totally change the feel of your space, whether it be your home or your place of work. You're welcome. You're welcome. Moana. I was singing the Moana song. But that's a great thing for money if you want to do those different types of herbs. When it comes to spirituality, I can spend all my time watching your videos. I used to show you things to my dad, the place where you live. He loved your stuff and your eyes. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you like my videos, because who else would be watching them? Yes. Now, if you wanted to just go for something as far as like a spirituality boost, you can do things like wormwood, patchouli, chamomile would be good for that, dragon's blood. Colt's foot leaf is a great thing for spirituality. You can make a mix of this, something like this, before you start working to kind of heighten your connection to the spiritual world. I love it. Love it. So, does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Preguntas. I don't have coffee this time. I was in way too much of a hurry. I did pretty good though, and you guys got a nice little recipe out of this, so I guess it wasn't a total failure. I don't see any questions. So, and you know, with incenses too, you can add crystals. You can add all sorts of different things. You can, if you're, depending on the working, you could even add something like graveyard dirt. Again, depending on the working, you can make incense for anything. You can make incense to match any intention. Hi, Justin. You're pretty late. You're coming in at the end. I'll do a quick little summary of what we talked about. That'll waste some time while I'm waiting for questions if there are any. So we did a hand-blended incense. This is a nice calming and empowering incense. For this I use lavender, mugwort, dragon's blood, rose of Jericho, roses, chamomile. These beautiful little flowers that I am going to post what they are. I am not remembering their name. But they're bulbous. That's the only way to describe them. Sorry, Michelle. Bulbous on the bottom. And then they have, Michelle, my sister, and they have little white flowers. I'll have to watch the replay. Didn't catch the beginning, so I don't know what herbs you use. Oh, well, I'm going through them anyway. But that was it. That was it. Oh, and I added aster flowers into that. So this is all calming, and it's all connecting you with the spiritual realm through empowerment. I think that helps empower people is to get the connection to the spiritual realm. That's a great thing about incenses is that you can interpret it however you would like to interpret it. You know, different herbs sometimes mean different things to people. So play with it, get creative with it, but always remember to be safe and make sure that you can actually inhale the ingredients that you're using. So, you know, for this you need the herbs, you need something to grind them up in. You don't necessarily have to grind them up. You could leave them whole. It might not make for even burning, I guess. Yes, me, my aunt says the only things you can say in Spanish are bad words. I didn't teach you that. Oh, whatever. And another one, why don't you make a mini? Well, I did make a mini video. I didn't make a mini course about the incense. And I think in the course I had a little bit about making your own incense blends because it's kind of like an ingredient to use. I mean, I could do, maybe I will, I don't know, put some recipes or something in there. We'll see, we'll see. And no, that is incorrect. The words that I know are not swear words. Not true, not true. Alan is also, coming from a person that steals your phone and puts his name as God or the devil, depending on what day it is. And I remember it was at a Halloween party and I had my phone on me and they were out in the field scaring children, Alan and Mike, and all of a sudden I get a text or a phone call from God, and I'm like, Michelle, my sister, was next to me. I was like, I'm getting a phone call from God. What does it mean? Yes, but not detailed. Yes, because it was a beginner course. Yeah, maybe, yeah. I have been thinking about going further with the course. Oh, there's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I was just talking about you. Well, not directly about you. You were standing with me when God called my phone at the Halloween party. And I was also talking about bulbous flowers, so I apologize to you for having bulbous flowers. But I don't think anyone else has any questions. So that's pretty much it for tonight. I'll post the recipe so you guys can have the recipe for this lovely little incense. It's one of my favorites. I feel like even just burning chamomile alone is calming, really. And sometimes you gotta poke it around a little bit. I mean, it's charcoal, so. But if you get good charcoal, it should last a decent amount. Would this be a good one to steep in a cauldron for people sensitive to smoke? Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah. Yeah, you could do that. All of these ingredients are safe to use. These are all safe. It's just roses, mugwort, lavender, rose of Jericho's, chamomile, these little flowers that I will, after tonight, I will never forget their name, I swear. And then aster flowers. So they should be able to be steeped for those sensitive to smoke. In a cauldron, yes. Almost like a cauldron brew. But yes, good point, Jeff, good point. There definitely are a lot of people sensitive to smoke out there. But these herbs are great to use in little charm bags, or, hey, if you need to make a calming poppet, or calming and empowering, you can use these types of herbs to stuff in the poppet. And like I said, if you wanted to just stick with the calming side of things, you could use it in a sleep pillow. Obviously, make sure that you are not sensitive to any of these ingredients, like the lavender, chamomile, whatever. But again, you can make pretty much any intention into an incense. And I got a decent amount, and this should last you. So the flowers, they have like a bulbous bottom. They're so adorable. A little bulbous bottom. And then a little white flower comes out of the top. So it's like a flat white flower. It's very thin on the top. But they grow right out in the backyard. I used my Google Lens to find out what they were. And then, of course, I looked up the metaphysical properties and all that fun stuff. Because I think it is great to have knowledge on what's growing in your own yard and utilize them for your purposes. And again, if we're harvesting, or if we're building our incense from the harvesting point all the way up to actually burning it, that's what we aim for. That's what we strive for. Listen, I love poppets. Poppets are a wonderful, wonderful tool. They are. And they're not always negative. There are good intention promoting poppets as well. So don't always think that they're negative. I know, it's ridiculous. I have to say it in a weird, stupid accent. It's kind of like when people say ambiance. You have to say ambiance, all fancy. This is bulbous. It's bulbous. My sister hates it. I'm sorry, Michelle. She's getting a visual. But they're not so much bulbous by the time they're done drying. I'm trying to find a good one to kind of like show you. They don't look anything like they did when they were. Yeah. Marigolds we used. Do they smell good when burned? Marigolds don't really have a good, like anything great smelling about them, but they are great with intention. Marigolds are a wonderful thing. I associate marigolds with ancestors and any kind of ancestor work, but marigolds could be used. Calendula, or if some people, calendula, however you want to say it. Poppets are awesome. They're one of my favorite things ever. Yes, they are. Like I said, they're a wonderful tool. Yeah, I can't really. And yes, Pantera remade Cat Scratch. Oh my gosh, Michelle. I don't know what the flowers are called. I will never forget them after tonight, though, because I'm going to look them up right after this. They don't look anything like they did when they weren't dry. If I could draw a picture of them for you, I would. And if I didn't, if I knew I wouldn't look like a crazy fool, I don't know if the live would stay up. I wish I had my computer out here. I don't know. Now I'm stressing out because I forgot to look it up again and refresh my memory. Like I said, this is a relatively newer plant that I've been using, and its sole purpose is to connect you to the spiritual realm. So, again, I will post it after I can look it up. But this all smells amazing. I'm almost out, but it's still... So scares me with those things. Just post it when you do. I will. Listen, I only scare you with those things, Yvonne, because the only ones that I have made for the videos were negative ones. So I am sorry. Maybe I'll do a... Oh, no, you know what? I will do a healing poppet next Sunday. Next Sunday school session will be a healing poppet because I actually do have to do one for someone. I won't name the person, but they know who they are, and we'll do that one live. So then that person can also put their intentions into the poppet with me. Perfect. So we'll do that next Sinday school session. I don't recommend using marijuana for incense. Not unless you live in a place where it's legal and apparently in abundance. But here in New York State, it is not legal. I know there are states in the U.S. of A where it is legal, and New York is poised to be eventually. So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If anyone has any, make a healing one for you. Well, do you need emotional healing or physical healing? I'm doing a physical healing doll for the next one. I know everybody can use a lot of emotional healing. I know I can use emotional healing. Emotional healing. Emotional healing, baby. Yeah. Ramble, ramble. That's what I do. Okay. So if there's no other questions... And I think with this, if you are not sensitive to smoke, one of the best things to do is to take your deep breathing techniques, you know, the in through the nose, out through the mouth. And always feel it go through your body. Take that deep breath. So, thank you all for watching again for another fun Sunday school session. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Hopefully you can get some calming energies. And I will post what this bulbous flower is. Alright guys, have a great night. Thank you for watching and for your support always. Bye!